It's about the housing. Nobody's listening to me. Nobody's taking my voice. Nobody's literally caring. Yeah, that's how I feel.
Alice was a carer working with the elderly. That was until November last year when she says she had an accident.
I was walking, coming from a shift from work, and I slipped and I fell backwards and I was unconscious.
Since then, Alice has had memory problems and says she's unable to hold down her job. When she couldn't stay with friends, she'd sleep rough.
For a woman, from my own experience, sleeping rough was very scary. It was very scary, and that was the darkest moment of my life, and I couldn't believe the point where I was at.
Alice is now in temporary accommodation, but trying to keep social distancing in a communal living space is proving difficult.
So how many people share the kitchen?
All of us.
How many
About
people?
over 100 people, I say.
Yeah, obviously people like us will have the social distance, but there's people that are,
That don't
really don't care.
As soon as I walk out of my room, I can't self-isolate. I can't. People are so close to me on the stairs. People are so close to me downstairs when I go and sit on the bench next trying to get fresh air. People want to get close to me, too close to me.
Do you think that it's right that you're living in a place where you literally can't physically follow the guidance that's meant to keep you safe?
I have sleepless nights. I can't sleep at night. I'm just crying and crying and crying, and I'm tired of actually crying. I am forgotten. I am forgotten.
The homeless charity Shelter believes there are nearly 300,000 so-called hidden homeless in England alone. So, the number of people rough sleeping is just the tip of the iceberg. Most people who are homeless are hidden homeless. They're in temporary accommodation, they're in hostels, they're in B+Bs, and for many of them it's simply impossible to follow the government's own guidance and keep themselves safe.
Well, we're now getting around 60% of calls to our helpline are related to COVID-19. And we're hearing from families who are in an absolute state of abject fear, really. So if they're living, for example, on the same corridor in B&B, sharing facilities with a family that is self-isolating because of the virus, then how do they keep their distance from that family?
Wendy was evicted from her flat last year. The council has homed her and her 11-year-old daughter in this room. It's hard to see how, if one of them got ill, the other could self-isolate here. And there are the same problems with a shared kitchen.
So is your daughter's in the same room?
Same room on one bed, one broken bed.
So you sleep in the same bed together?
Same bed together. And I know the impact it have on her because she do talk about it. And she saw me cry as well, so she know that it is a bit stressing. And she always asks me, "Mommy, you okay? Mommy, you okay?" I say, "Yeah, I'm okay," because I try to stay strong for her.
I think this is a very serious public health issue because people who are living in very confined spaces with shared facilities in a time where you have a very rapid and efficient spread of a virus like coronavirus means that actually they are very vulnerable to having significant spread within those confined spaces. And this means that actually these people are taking the burden of the disease.
But then she said the best
Wendy
is staying
works with
out
kids
in
in care on a
rest.
0 hours contract. She hasn't worked for 3 weeks, afraid that she might catch coronavirus and would therefore be unable to self-isolate from her daughter.
You're a key worker, you've done a lot of good.
Yes, and I volunteer with Food Bank. I volunteer for homeless.
Do you feel like society has almost sort of forgotten about you?
I felt let down in a way where where I see how my heart is and the things that I do and where I put out. But yeah, this is just the world that we're living in now. No one cares.
Wendy and Alice are hopeful they'll be placed in more suitable accommodation soon, but their circumstances make a mockery of the idea that we're all in this together. There's an assumption that staying home saves lives, but for hundreds of thousands of people in temporary accommodation across the country, staying at home isn't safe either.